Welcome back to Ringworm. We're back at it. Spend a few more days, well, hopefully days, weeks, months, whatever it takes to get this mini cabin built. As you can see, winter kind of landed pretty hard in the last few days. I had to leave here. I had a sore throat for like 6 or 7 days. It wasn't getting any better, and I finally was like, I just need to, I can't be out here in a tent waiting forever to get over a stupid cold. So before I start dragging stuff out to the property, I'm gonna take a quick run on the four-wheeler, see if I can even get out there. I think there was over a foot of snow, but then there was rain and all sorts of weird stuff, so I don't really know what I'm gonna find. So I'm gonna blast out there on the four-wheeler without the trailer or anything and just see what it looks like, and then drag some stuff out there, get a tent set back up. I took it down before I left last time, and I don't know, hopefully today or tomorrow get back on the path to a full completed mini cabin with a heater. Gosh, wouldn't a heater be nice out here? My little bridge is a little sketchy now, isn't it? Might have to keep shoveling stuff down into the middle and packing it in so I don't end up stuck in there. Wow. Well, that's what you get if you drive backwards to get the camera. Fell off the bridge. It's bound to happen. Let's see if we got something to winch to. That's why I came first without the trailer. Be really something with 400 pounds worth of stuff behind this and piled on top of it. Don't tell anybody, but I secretly love when stuff like this happens. So much fun. Before I bought this place and started coming out here, Tito and I made a habit of getting our cars stuck. Ideally once a week, one of us would lose a car back on two-tracking, back in the middle of nowhere. One time we lost, actually sunk my car in. I think I walked out, he picked me up, came back the next day, and we spent a full 24 hours trying to find the car. So we didn't have GPS or anything. I don't know why. Oh, there's no phone signal out there, I think. Well, it's all still here, untouched except for the hundreds of deer that have already walked through here. Man, I don't like leaving this place, and I really don't leave very often, but every time I do, I come back and I'm sure something's going to be messed up. Like an animal, a bear would have gotten in and like ripped the whole lean-to apart, or like my tent will be caved in, or I don't know, whatever. But almost 2 years, not a single time. I mean, I've come back and found animals trying to get in the lean-to. Early on there was a bear that tried to get in there but didn't. Must have been a pretty wimpy bear. Foundation's still here. Look at that. Hasn't even caved in yet. Oh, I can't wait to get started on this. How weird does this look? No tent. So strange. So strange. But before I do anything here, I know this tree that I had my tarp tied to is hollow, and even the tarp itself was starting to drag this over a little bit. So I got to cut that guy down before I put my tent back up here. And then there's also one more. Oh, it actually doesn't look as big as I remember. This one right here that's bent, it's leaning over quite a bit. It has one branch on it that points this way straight up my tent deck. So I kind of like to take that down too. maybe I can get my stuff up here, cut those, drag them out of the way, and still get my tent up and stuff put away before dark. I don't know. I think Tito's coming. He's got a text from him. I think he's coming up today. I don't know what his plans are, but oh yeah, that tree's definitely got tent smashing written all over it. Oh, and you know what else? I think it was just in the last video. I said the shower, that tarp on the shower had been up for the better part of 2 years, at least a year and a half. Never come down. It did, which is why I do not like to leave here. Yep, here you go. There's the grommet. Well, so it goes. A little bit of a mess, but all my stuff to keep dry is underneath that tarp anyway, so deal with it later. Won't need it for a couple days. I won't sweat. I mean, I don't even do anything out here. I just sit around and read books. Okay, gotta go to the car, get my crap. I just remembered I don't have a tent up, so I bring all my stuff up here. I got no place to put it, so I'm gonna listen to a little stand-up comedy, finish my Hannibal Buress, and shovel this place out a little bit, then go get my stuff. Great Googles to the Moogles, man.
Hi.
Oh God. Let's get to this. Get it over with. It looks like it must be that nice fluffy snow. Is that what it is? Yeah. There's a fine selection of black and yellow things for you to choose from. Whatever you'd like to cut that tree down with, but just make sure it's black and orange. Did I say orange or yellow? Whatever.
The
orange. The color of your head.
Colors.
Yeah, does that one feel right?
Yeah.
It's like you're testing out bowling balls. He's so precise that he turned the tip of the bar in 50 degrees. Just so, I don't want to nick the end of that chainsaw when that huge tree falls over. Last one. Big guy. It's got quite a lean on it. I'm gonna try to send it out there-ish, not land quite in this bunch of little trees. Hopefully, yeah, I don't know, it's so windy right now. The clouds are just flying by, but hopefully we can get this to go to the right place. Oh, I had a great night's sleep last night. It was really nice to be in a small tent again too. Just shoveled all the brush off of here. Didn't even cut that. Didn't cut that tree off from over the trail yet. We just dumped everything because it was getting so late. We'll burn this up as the day goes on. Tito's making a fire over here, drinking coffee, and he's making a fire like our ancestors did, with a giant propane blowtorch. I did just go ahead and accidentally order a new 4-season tent last night. We're sitting in, that's technology. You'd think we're in the middle of nowhere, and we are, but we're sitting in 2 tents 100 yards away, texting each other back and forth to figure out which tent would be the best to live in this winter. Just like the natives did it, eh? Mm-hmm. A giant pile of charred brush and tiny little flame down in the middle.
There's some of that pine crap.
Oh yeah. That was the very top of that giant pine tree that I milled up for the mini cabin. All that part that was dead and like all the sap had just settled down through it or something. I don't know. We saved a bunch of strips and little pieces of it, and they're just like solid resin. You can throw one piece in the fire, light it, and just let that do all the kindling work. Go ahead and shovel this sucker out. Isn't that cool? You can see all the layers in there. It's just like a cotton blanket. Alright, finally, let's get back to building, or making 2x4's anyway. Only got about 6 of them made before I had to run out of here last week, so I'm gonna go through most of this pile. These are 7.5 footers, so I'll probably get, what, a dozen or more out of that. As soon as I'm done cutting up those boards into 2x4's, I'm gonna have to decide which way the roof's going on here, how I'm gonna frame the walls. I don't know if, I used to say this a lot in the videos, but it's really important. If you're watching this to learn how to do something, you got the wrong channel. This is all about not looking stuff up, not thinking stuff out, just like free-form chainsaw and use nail building just to see what'll happen. I can't imagine that there's a builder alive or a framer alive that wouldn't just upchuck watching me build this stuff, but I'm gonna do it anyway. If it falls over, that's on me. Doesn't affect anybody else. And because I like building like that, sometimes things don't work out. That's why a lot of times I build stuff with screws. Once I got what I think is done, I'll pull the screws out, put nails in it, because I end up taking stuff apart a lot, and that to me that's the best part of it. It's just kind of thinking through on the fly. I wonder how that would go together. I wonder if that would work. But I haven't framed I was never a framer. I was never a builder, really. I haven't framed a wall in at least 20 years, and even then I didn't do it that much, so it's gonna be really fun. I love getting to this point in a project where a lot of the really hard work is done, the tree cutting and the brush burning and all that stuff, and I've got a pile of lumber in front of me, and I could just see what comes out of it. It's a good thing that I make all my own lumber out here with the chainsaw too, because the whole process takes so long. I really enjoy doing it. I like cutting trees. I love chainsaw milling. It's so handy because I don't have any heavy machinery out here, so these bigger logs that are laying out in the forest, even if I had a bandsaw mill or something, I don't have any way to get them around. And if you want to take that step of getting a skid loader, what are they called? You know, then I'd have to put real trails in here, and I mean, it just gets so out of control. So it's a really good thing that I love chainsaw milling. Anyway, the point is, if I had piles of lumber here, like if I ever bought any lumber, if I had like a truck full of 2x4's and OSB and everything dropped here, there would be buildings everywhere. And it's a good thing that's not the case, because it still does feel like the woods out here. It still is the woods. Now everybody raise your right hand, left, right hand, and say, I promise I will not try to learn anything from ringworm videos. Ever. Alright, we can proceed. By the way, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but the last 4 or 5 times that Tito's been out here, he stayed in the deer castle, and he really seems to love it. And after a year and a half of trying to talk him into it, he's finally going to build a cabin, it sounds like. So, I don't know why I'm so jumpy. Like, oh, where is he? While I'm doing this today, he's going to go out, find his spot, and start clearing trees. So we'll see. I know he's not going to make a video of building it, but I'll try to go down there pretty regularly and show you guys what he's up to. It's probably going to be a long process. See what we got to listen to today. WTF, Mark Maron with George Clooney. That should be good. All right, got all the 7.5 footers done. 2, 4, 6, 7, 21 of them. That should be good enough for the 2 shorter walls, whichever they'll be, this or that, I don't know, who knows. So I guess maybe the roof will go this way, so it'll be this wall and this wall will be like 7 feet. Now we gotta make some for this, which I think I'm gonna go, instead of going up to the same height and then putting a plate and then going back up again, I think since I've got a stack of 11 footers, I'm just gonna go all the way up to the peak and do them like this. I don't know, I haven't, this is, as far as I thought was, how am I gonna cut this log up? What size should they be? So that's what we got to work with. So I guess the pitch of the roof will be whatever this longest board is up to the middle of it, and then coming down to a 7-foot wall, right? The only downside of all this is, actually I didn't really count. I'm hoping that's more than enough to do 2 walls, and I'm hoping this is more than enough to do 2 walls, because then I can use these for the roof. Should be like, what, 8-ish on a side or something like that, 8 studs. Yeah, so maybe this is enough to do the whole thing. That'd be really great if I didn't have to go cut more trees just to make the roof rafters. I don't know, we'll see. Holy crap. This one's been here a couple days longer than that. I think this got rained on and then apparently froze. Okay, gonna need a big hammer or something. Yep, that's not moving. Did it move? Ah. Oh, there we go. We got it. Well, I just found an oddity in my work. I know the way I do stuff, you wouldn't expect there to be any imperfections, but I was just planing off the side of this board, and you probably can't tell from the camera, but it's, I must have had the mill set 1 notch taller, wider than it needed to be. So we've got an extra, what's that, an extra 1/8. So this is 1.5 and an 1/8. I guess that won't make any difference. I mean, I did it on purpose. I just made them extra beefy so this thing doesn't blow over in the wind or anything. Do you mind telling the good people of the world what the hell we're doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
Nobody knows. Except for looking for a spot to place a building for me.
A building?
Yeah, to hide in.
Like a carport? Like a bowling alley?
Casino.
It would be kind of cool to have a old slot machine out here.
Yeah.
Run it off the Jackeries or something.
I thought about a pinball machine.
Oh, I wasn't thinking pinball. I was thinking foosball. At some point, I think it'd be cool to do just like the carport that I built. Just like that with the foosball table under it.
Yeah, you can put one in the gazebo.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be pretty rad.
So this was kind of my, kind of going in between the...
Yeah, I wonder where the, exactly the property.
Line's right there, you can see it.
Pretty much here.
The line.
I didn't see the flag, the stake. It's got to be pretty close to this anyway. Dude, this is a pretty sweet spot too.
Yeah. This is all grassy and weird in the summer.
Is grassy and weird good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the yin and yang of nature.
Grassy and weird. Yeah, this is a cool spot. That's the only troublesome thing, is that there's standing water here, but I mean, it's melting right now, so I don't know.
40 degrees.
Plus, if there was a puddle here or something, you could dig a channel through there, yeah. Or take a bath. Just have to GPS it or figure out where exactly the property line is.
Yeah, it's a tough decision.
Dude, this is actually pretty sweet.
I know. I was thinking like right around, like right in here.
Right in.
Meow.
Right in here.
Yep.
No. Okay, well, let's go see option number 2. All right, let's roll.
Safety first.
Safety fourth. Holy moly. You have all your surveyor's tools?
Yeah.
I see you do.
Yep, that's all you need.
A water bottle and a tomahawk. I'm sure people don't really have any idea how things are laid out here, but the sky deck's right over that trail there. And the bed, oh, you can see it right through there. And then right through there is the gazebo, back through the trees a little bit. Now, this is a cool spot of the property because it's got a bunch of these old, I still don't know if these are firs or spruces. I always forget which ones
Furry spruces.
these are, but all these like 3-inch diameter spruces that are dead, so it'd be really easy to open this all the way up. And I freaking love those white pines.
I know. So right here is where I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, this is good. Oh, I see. So you can sleep on the bed.
Yeah.
I see. Oh dude, this is one of the 2 nicest trees on the property too.
Yeah.
I love this cedar tree. Yeah, this one must have when they logged this like 80 or 100 years ago or whatever, they must have skipped this one. For out here, that's freaking massive. How big is that? 30 inches maybe?
Yeah. Right here is like my yard. So this area.
Yeah, dude. I remember when we first found this spot. We were going that way, right? Trying to open up that old trail there. And then we looked up here. We were just wandering around here and you could just like, just sort of look through the woods and see there weren't really big trees in a line, right? Like, I think that's an old path. And then we just blasted it through there one day. Yeah, dude, this is a sweet spot. And you got all those cool white pines. That, for some reason, it's that corner too that has all the white pines on it. Those really big ones.
And the really nice cedars.
Yep. Yeah, a couple real big cedars.
This area, like, I feel so nice, and I don't know if it's always sunshine or the way the light comes through here, but I just love it. So this is it.
You gonna do this?
Hmm.
Okay. Done. Sweet. That's the one. That's the white pine that I want to put a sitting bench up there, like 50 feet up. Make a little platform and throw a climbing rope up there. Something about those pines that just looks so freaking cool. It's pretty sweet. He's got his tools together. He's actually going to start clearing stuff. It's ready. It's ready for some walls. I grab a tape measure, go down to the gazebo and measure those windows and figure out where stuff's gonna go. Those aren't too bad. Looks like, let's see what we got here. And something out here with real windows. That's pretty strange. Yep. We got 3, and 2 of them are very similar. Looks like all 3 are the same size. If I tell you the numbers here, you gonna remember and tell me in about 5 minutes? 37 3/4 wide. 37 1/4 tall. I'm not tasking myself with remembering those numbers, so you just when I forget it in a minute, you just holler out and I'll listen. Some kind of monster out here. He. Oh. That's what you get when you Sam Squatch is building a cabin in your neighborhood. 37 3/4 wide, 37 1/4 tall. Commit to, what's that word? Starts with an M. We'll figure it out. In the wise words of, well, you, enough rope-a-dope.
Enough rope-a-dope.
After some very deep thought, a lot of considerations, a lot of calculations, we determined that the only way to build this is with the roof coming this way. So then what did we decide? Put the roof on before the other 2 walls?
I think you're gonna have to start over.
Start over when? Like right now I need to tear this down and start over?
Put the roof up first.
Oh, before the floor?
Yep.
I don't have that many small rockets left to hold it up. I guess I gotta trim all these 2x4's too.
Besides the money, does anything stop you from bringing 2x4's out?
Well, I mean, with the number of trees you gotta cut down anyway to build this stuff, you'd just be swallowed up in firewood. But yeah, I mean, I guess the money and I don't know, it doesn't seem like you get the same sense of accomplishment. I thought you were drinking out of that maple syrup jug. I saw the color and the size of the bottle. So that's pretty hardcore. Yeah, it just doesn't seem quite right to spend. I mean, I don't like to spend money on stuff anyway, but like the amount of thinking and planning and mulling over I'd have to do in order to spend the money to build something like this, I don't know. Plus, you can't, like, this is mill up some logs, make the lumber, put part of it together, see how much more you need. Like, I'd actually have to plan all this crap out if I was going to have to drive, you know, an hour to get lumber. I have to sit here with the sketch pad and figure a materials list and all that, and I think that would take the fun out of it. I mean, it'd still be fun, I guess, but kind of seems like cheating. The other thing that's kind of makes a difference is that all this stuff looks so much cooler when you build it from like the stuff that's out here and you chainsaw mill it and everything. Like if it wasn't for that, all this crap I'm building would look like OSB. It just looked like garbage heap.
Well, I'm just thinking like the studs and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess it's like where are you going to stop? Are you going to do studs? Are you going to do roofing? Are you going to do... It's weird to make some and not others. I can almost feel that propane heat already. Can you feel it? Can you feel it from there?
That's gonna be so nice, man.
Yep. Place to dry a sleeping bag. Keep your water bottles from freezing. It's gonna be dope. I don't know why I keep using the word dope, but it's dope. I'm trying to figure out how to lay these walls out to fit the windows roughly in the right spot, although there is no right spot, but more than anything, to make this strong enough to be structurally okay, but with using the least amount of lumber. That is the trick, because if I run even just a board over, which I probably will, I'll have to go cut down more trees and do that whole rigmarole. So I think I decided on putting these walls 20 on center instead of 16. And then that window fits in there perfectly. And it's actually ends up saving me 2 studs. And I'm not going to put a bottom plate on this, so I think you'd normally frame the whole wall, tip the whole thing up as one piece, and then you could just nail through the bottom plate down into the floor. But it saves me 4 studs, or 4 2x4's, the longer ones, all the way around this by not putting a bottom plate on, and I think it'll still work just fine. So let's see how it goes together. Oh, you don't want to forget to trim the bottoms of these. The shortest 2x4 I had of the short log was a little over 88 inches, so I'm trimming the ends of all these short 2x4s to 88. So that's just what the 2 side walls will be, is 88 inches based on the length of that log. You want to see something you'll never see, almost ever? No headphones. I'm not listening to a book. Eats up too many of my precious compute cycles. I can't think and can't listen to something and do this at the same time. Going to put the top of the window down a little bit lower, but this will save lumber, I think, by building it this way. And since the wall is short anyway, this is still going to be, the top of the window will still be lower than it would in most houses. There's the pretty window. And I waited for years and years and years for my old 20-year-old, 15-year-old Ryobi saw to die, and it didn't. But I finally caved in and just got this thing, and now I'm really glad I did. The thing works great. Maybe should have some short ones under here on each side, but I don't want to cut up good lumber right now, so I'll probably wait till I'm done with everything and then throw those in, like before the windows go or anything. I mean, even if I ended up having to, I could put short ones on like that with a lot of nails. I think it would help support it, but whatever, won't worry about it right now. I put this safety step here because I thought it was getting dangerous just stepping all the way up. So I like to have a little...
You got to mill the top of it flat, so it's more safer.
I was thinking about putting 16 penny nails sticking out the top. Actually, since it's easier to stand over here and work, I think I'm just going to use this wall on that side. So, I don't know if I can move it by myself or not. Maybe a little at a time. It's always something. Tito's over there packing up because he's got stuff to do today outside of the worm. I could take 30 seconds and ask him to help, but I feel like that'd be cheating. That wet lumber's super light for a man like me. Stay. Is that how you do it? You got to use commands, right? Where's my level? Supposed to be 30 plus mile an hour winds tomorrow. You feel it just picking up. It's been nice and calm all day today. I'm gonna have to do some extra bracing so this thing doesn't come down. You know what you need at a time like this? It's one of these fancy hammers that you can put the nail in with a little magnet. Well, it's the thought that counts. Let's try that again. Suck it, mini cabin. That's what you get. That's what you get, big pine tree. You go dead and don't play by the rules, you're gonna get turned into a house. If you're wondering why I'm screwing these down instead of nailing them, so am I. I just had a little talk with the fastener gods, and it's what they wanted. They wanted screws in the bottom instead of nails, so, you know, who am I to argue with the likes of them? Yeah, let's go with a little of each. Half screws, half nails. That'll keep them guessing. Alright, gotta reheat some lunch, cram it down, do one more wall, brace it up, and before dark, which is 3 hours, switch out tents. So that little light tent will not make it through the next couple days. Alright, wish me luck. We just got to do one more that doesn't tip over. That'd be fantastic. Okay. It's hard not to lift with your back when you got all these clothes on and they're wet. I can't bend my knees. Yeah, baby. Don't you tip over. Close enough. Whoa. It's so freaking wobbly. I also wasn't sure if I'd have enough extra lumber to put another top plate on there. Probably not a bad idea. I'm hoping I can make the roof rafters come down right over top of each one of these studs to support the whole thing. If the rafters end up in between the studs, and I can get some sagging and all sorts of weird stuff, but with any luck, one plate will be enough. But as is, without a bottom plate, this whole thing is so freaking wobbly. That's all right. You know, it'll work or it won't. Oh shit. Don't breathe. Almost forgot one. Starting to look like a real thing. It's kind of exciting. So hard, even with the platform there, it's so hard to get an idea of like how big it's going to feel inside or whatever, but you get a couple walls up, starts taking shape, it's going to be sweet. I'm going to throw a couple more braces on there and scurry, see if I can get my tents changed out, and maybe with the next couple days of storm I'll try to see if I can get this video together and out to you guys. I was thinking about skipping this week just because you know, there's no place to edit out here, but if I have to run out from the storm for a day or two, whatever. You know what? You'll either see it or you won't. I'm going to spend a little bit of time tonight or tomorrow trying to find the right stove for this. I think that propane stove is, I talked to Tito about it a little bit, and that was actually his idea like over a year ago. If you were going to build a cabin, this is the stove I'd use, so probably get one of those on the way. This is going to go together really fast now. I got to throw some rafter truss kind of things together, and then the sidewalls will be really easy too. It's going to be sweet. Plus, because I had to clear this whole area to put the little mini cabin in, I saved all these cedar logs you guys saw in I don't know, 2 or 3 videos ago when I was clearing all this. This is a freaking great pile of logs, so the milling even for that will go really fast. I think I might, cedar's kind of my favorite stuff to build with, and because of that I often hold on to it, wait for something just right. It's great for using on the outside of things like walls and siding and stuff like that, because it can take the weather. It lasts absolutely forever, and since I don't paint anything or seal anything, it's best to have on the outside. Anyway, I may end up doing an aspen roof on this, so I've got that other giant aspen tree down there. I have not cut into it. I don't know what the inside looks like. The majority of them are kind of rotty, but some places you can find, you know, get one good log out of it. So if I could get one big fat log, I think that'd be enough to sheathe the whole roof on this thing. We'll just do it as it does, see how it comes out. So thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe if you want to see how this man cave comes out. Your guess is as good as mine. Thanks.